Hello students, welcome to fifth lecture of surface chemistry. In last lecture we discussed about adsorption from solution phase and application of adsorption. In this unit we are going to start our second point, catalyst. Now catalyst, we can say that it is one of the most important topic of 12 because catalyst is in 4 different units. Okay, and description in all of these 4 is comparatively near to each other. That means you can write description of one unit if question is asked for another unit. Okay, so concentrate on it, and if you have any confusion then you are free to ask. So let us start our unit. So in starting, effect of catalyst, one example is mentioned which represents effect of catalyst. So potassium chloride when heated strongly decomposes slowly giving dioxygen. The decomposition occurs in the temperature range of 653 to 873. That means it is comparatively very high temperature, and our simple reaction is KClO3 gives KCl and O2. Now, however, when little manganese dioxide is added, the decomposition takes place at considerably low temperature range, which is 473 to 633. That means without manganese dioxide, least temperature requirement was 653, and with manganese dioxide, maximum requirement of temperature is 633. Okay, so we can see a large difference in requirement of energy with little bit addition of manganese dioxide. So, and also at much accelerated rate, that means it will occur at lower energy requirement and speed of reaction will be comparatively faster. The added manganese dioxide remains unchanged with respect to its mass and composition. That means same amount and same chemical composition of manganese dioxide will obtain after the reaction as well. Okay, so that means with the help of addition of manganese dioxide, it will increase the rate of reaction and it will decrease the energy requirement, and at final stage you will get your added compound back so that we can use it for next time. Okay, so that means it helps decreasing energy requirement and increasing speed of reaction. In similar manner, the rate of the numbers of chemical reactions can be altered by the mere presence of foreign substance. That means with the addition of these type of extra substance, we can change the rate of reaction, that means speed of reaction. In certain cases you can increase it, in certain cases we can even decrease the rate of reaction. Now this systematic study and effect of the various foreign substance on the rate of chemical reaction was first made by Berzelius in 1835. He suggested the term catalyst for such substance. Now definition wise, substances which accelerates the rate of chemical reaction and themselves remain chemically and quantitatively unchanged after the reaction are known as catalysts, and the phenomenon is known as catalysis. You have already studied about the catalyst and its functions in section 4.5. Okay, so this is already discussed in 4.5, but still if you have any confusion you can ask me, or in simple manner let us discuss the effect of catalyst and then we will move in on. Okay, so now this is a graphical representation of our reaction. On x-axis we have reaction direction, which is going in forward direction. On y-axis we have energy. So as you can see, in this case energy of reactant is comparatively higher than energy of product. So it represents, in this case, reaction will be exothermic. That means when reactant converts into product, it will lose some energy. Let us give some values to energies of reactant and product. So let us say energy of reactant is 10 points and energy of product, let us say it is 7 points. So simple mathematically, 10 points of energy containing reactant when converts into 7 point of energy containing product, it will lose 3 points of energy. Okay, so our normal assumption will be reaction should occur like this. Reactants start decreasing energy and it will convert itself into product. That means you may get this type of straight line, but this is not true. Reaction do not occur like this, but instead most of the reactions occurs like this. Initially reactants need to consume some more energy, then it will increase its energy to the certain level and then it will start losing it and it will convert into product. That means our actual reaction is something like this. Reactant absorbs some energy and it changes into some intermediate compound, and then intermediate compound loses energy and it will convert in product. Okay, so reactant to intermediate to product. First we have to add some energy, then it will release energy and it will convert itself into product. So let us assume this energy of intermediate, this is intermediate's energy. So energy of intermediate, let us say it is 13 points. So simple reaction will be, we have to add 3 points of energy into the reactant. Now reactant's energy is already 10 points. So 10 plus 3, that means intermediate will have 13 points of energy and it will lose 6 points of energy afterward, and then it will convert into 7 point energy containing product. That means we added 3 points energy will be released here and additional 3 point will be released here. So total 3 plus 3, 6 points energy will be released. Okay, so this is actual reaction direction. Now if we add catalyst in this system, then what will be the change in graph? So with catalyst our graph will be something like this. This red line indicates with catalyst reaction direction. So as we can see, with catalyst energy requirement decreases. Initially we have to add 13 points of energy. Now let us say we need to add 1 point of energy. So total energy is, let us say for new intermediate it is 11 point. So our reaction will be reactant with catalyst gives a intermediate compound and eventually it changes into product with pure catalyst again. Okay, so same type of catalyst will obtain after the reaction. So initial energy of reactant was 10 points. You have to add just 1 point of energy. So new reactant catalyst intermediate contains total 11 points of energy. Now when it converts into product, energy of product is 7 and total released energy will be 4 points. 1 added earlier and 3 will be removed during the reaction. Total 4 points of energy. So that means you get 3 points of energy out of the reaction. And now time also decreases, requirement of energy also decreases, as well as time also decreases. Now why time decreases? Now let us assume two different slopes. Now this is our first slope and this is our second slope. Now starting and ending point for both of the slopes are same, but assume that you are doing cycling and these two hills are in the way, so you have to cross it. So starting from point A to point B, obviously first hill will take comparatively less time to pass and second will take comparatively more time to pass. Reason, in first hill you have to climb comparatively low height and then you have to come down from low height as well. Suppose let us say it requires 5 minutes to climb and 2 minutes to get down, total 7 minutes. But in second hill it is comparatively more higher than first one, so it requires more time to climb
and similarly it requires more time to come down. Let us say it requires 10 minutes to climb and 4 minutes to get down, so total you need 14 minutes. Okay, so same type of situation will occur here. Without catalyst, height of slope is more, so that means it needs to absorb more energy and then it needs to release more energy. That's why it will take comparatively more time. In second case, height of slope is comparatively less, so it needs to absorb less energy and it needs to release less energy. That's why different energy values are used, and that's why lower height gives us faster reaction.
Now next point is promoters and poisons. Now promoters are substances that enhance the activity of catalyst while poisons decrease the activity of catalyst. For example, Haber's process of the manufacture of ammonia, molybdenum act as a promoter for iron which is used as a catalyst. So here we have a simple reaction, N2 plus 3H2 gives N2NH3. If we are using Fe, then it will increase the rate of reaction, and if we are using Fe along with molybdenum, then even faster reaction will be obtained. And same thing, if you are using poisons, then it will affect the efficiency of catalyst and rate of reaction will decrease. Now let us assume we have a reaction going from A to B. Now without any addition, this reaction takes 10 minutes to reach equilibrium. Okay, now with the help of catalyst C, let us call it catalyst C, this reaction takes only 1 minute. Okay, that means this is without catalyst and 1 minute is with catalyst. Now same reaction with catalyst plus promoter will take less than 1 minute. That means let us say reaction will complete in 45 seconds. Well, we have catalyst plus promoters, and with catalyst and poison, catalytical poison, this reaction will take longer than 1 minute. Let us say it takes 5 minutes when we have catalyst plus poison. Okay, so that means with catalyst and poison, reaction will take even shorter time. Shortest time period will be observed when we are using catalyst and promoter, and longest time will be observed when we do not have any catalyst or promoter or poisons. Now our next point is homogeneous catalysis. So homogeneous, now homo word represents something is similar between two different chemicals or reactants. So when reactants and products and the catalyst are in the same phase, liquid or gas, the process is said to be homogeneous catalysis. That means if all of them are in same phase, reactant, product and catalyst, then we can say that this reaction is homogeneous catalysis reaction. As for example, few examples are mentioned when sulfur dioxide reacts with oxygen, and if we are using NO as a catalyst, then reaction will be homogeneous catalysis in gas phase, and this reaction is known as lead chamber process. Next, hydrolysis of methyl acetate is catalyzed by H plus ion and furnished by hydrochloric acid. So our reaction is CH3COOCH3 plus H2O, both of them in liquid state. Catalyst HCl in liquid state gives CH3COOH in aqueous state and CH3OH in aqueous state. Now although reactants are in liquid state and products are in aqueous state, all of them are in liquid phase. Okay, phase of all of them are liquid, so that's why it is homogeneous reaction. Now next is hydrolysis of sugar is catalyzed by H plus ion furnished by sulfuric acid. So here we have reaction where we have a solution of sugar C12H22O11. It is sugar molecule, contain one fructose and one glucose molecule, and it is also known as sucrose. With H2O, it reacts with H2 and gives glucose and fructose in solution form. In presence of H2SO4, this reaction will be catalyzed. this same reaction is also being carried out in our body. This is the reaction of hydrolysis of sugars in our body, and it releases glucose and fructose, and eventually these glucose and fructose molecules will be used for the production of energy in body. Now our next point is heterogeneous catalysis. So if homogeneous has same phase, then heterogeneous will have different phases. Hetero word represents difference between two or more than two. So catalytical process in which the reactants and catalyst are in different phase is known as heterogeneous catalysis, and here we have some examples. So sulfur dioxide to sulfur trioxide uses platinum as a catalyst. So we have gaseous reactant and products and solid catalyst. So it is heterogeneous catalysis. Now the combination between dinitrogen and dihydrogen in Haber process uses Fe as a catalyst, as mentioned earlier in description of poisons and promoters. So we have nitrogen and hydrogen in gaseous state and Fe solid as a catalyst, so it is heterogeneous. And next is NH3 plus O2 in Ostwald process uses platinum as a catalyst, which gives NO and H2O. So it uses gaseous reactants and products and solid catalyst. And last is hydrogenation of vegetable oils in presence of finely divided nickel as catalyst. So vegetable oils are in liquid state, and when they reacts with hydrogen in presence of nickel catalyst solid, it gives vegetable ghee. So it uses liquid and gaseous reactants and it gives solid products, and we have solid catalyst. So all of them are in different phases. So this is the example of heterogeneous catalysis.